The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We're back on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Professional auto repair, maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Online at autorepairsmyrna.com. We're talking Oakland football this morning. The Patriots winners 49-46 over the Riverdale Warriors last night. And I've heard the word classic thrown around a lot since last night. Coach, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, pretty good game. I did have a score prediction. I think I said it's going to be a 3-point game, like 17-14. I just don't know who's going to win. And I was a little off on the score prediction. I knew there was about 3-point difference, just didn't know which way, and I sure didn't know that many points was going to be scored last night.
Well, it's the most points in any Battle of the Borough game played since the teams have been going at it since the early or mid-'70s. So it was 95 points scored in that game last night. And it looked like from the onset it was he who scored first, and two different methods. Riverdale goes down the field and methodically takes as much clock as possible, and then you score in a minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah. And, I thought they did a really good job of being patient and running the ball. And, they've got a Division I running back there, and they kept feeding him the ball, and he's hard to get down. Big physical kid, but also fast. And it was a little frustrating, sitting there on the sideline watching that, and the offense not getting out there. But then when DeJuan got his opportunity, he made the most of it, and Craig Tutt did a great job as well.
You mentioned DeJuan, 250-plus yards, 4 touchdowns. That's 9 touchdowns in 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy.
He's had a good playoff run. He's making up for lost time. He had a rough regular season, fighting through injuries, but he's making the most of his opportunities now in the playoffs.
Health-wise, it's good to be getting healthy in the playoff time, isn't it?
Well, it's unfortunate. He's been through some stuff with, the regular season, and so he's probably one of only couple people that we have that's actually fresh. Everybody else is kind of beat up and banged up this time of year, and I guess everybody we're playing probably is too.
Obviously, both teams come out and make some second-half adjustments. What were some of those for you last night? What adjustments did you make?
Well, we just went in to start off with, and we felt good about scoring right before half with about a minute to go. And next thing you know, Riverdale gets a good kick return. Unfortunately, our kicker had hurt his kicking leg, and so he wasn't up to par like his normal self, and so they got the ball in great field position. And I think 3 or 4 plays later, they score right before half, and you talk about just demoralizing and changing the whole momentum of the game. But the first thing we had to do is look, guys, it's 24 minutes and we're down 3-0. It's a similar position that Ravenwood was in when they came back. So, just basically let them know that what we were doing, was working. We just had to get some stops, and our defense got to stop in the first half. And next thing you know, we got 3 and outed. So we had to take opportunities and advantage of what our defense did give us. And in the second half, to their credit, our defense had a turnover and had some big stops.
Big birthday night for Morris, again, over 250 yards. And let's see, Craig Tutt, I want to make sure we mention him, especially in the second half. Boy, he sure was a pressure release there for Morris, because he got a lot of attention in that second half, and then here comes Craig Tutt.
Yeah, and understandably so. They did a good job of keying in on DeJuan Morris. The first time we played, I think he might have had 50 yards, so for him to have a big night like that and then come back with a 1-2 punch with Craig Tutt, who had a great game the first time we played Riverdale. I thought it was best for us just to kind of get both those guys on the field and feed them the ball. And, once they loaded the box, I felt like we had good opportunities to throw the ball to DeJuan and, our receivers. I thought that was a big catch on third down for a touchdown to Chase Bandy that helped get us some momentum.
You know, it was late third quarter, had a short field, got the score. Kyler Creasy with the leap. He's got the hops, I guess, leaping into the end zone for that TD. And then that was a string of back-to-back-to-back scores, and that was really kind of the difference in the game.
Yeah, I think we were down 10 points, and we've been down 2 scores before a couple times, and we've been behind in, I know, 5 games, maybe 6. I have to go back and look at it, but, that's what I'm most proud of, is to give our guys all the credit. Our coaches remained calm, our guys remained calm, and they fought back from 10 points down and had 21 unanswered. Last week we were double-digit down, and I think we had, 14 straight scores. So I think it speaks to how bad our guys want to keep the season rolling. I think it tells the story of how we don't want to lose to Riverdale on our field again. I think it's big for our seniors to go out, remember that, their last time playing Riverdale, they won. And I think a lot of those thoughts are probably going through their mind. We had one senior out there playing on a torn ACL, braced it up, out there hobbling around blocking for DeJuan. A lot of credit's got to be given to our tight ends and our fullbacks and our offensive line. Caleb Ellison, had to pop his shoulder back into place to go back in. He's a senior. All those guys have college opportunities. They could have easily checked out and just worried about, their future in football, but, they felt it was so important that they needed to play. And, we got TT, who has a broke arm, who had surgery just 3 weeks ago, that went to the doctor to get cleared to play. And, I think he had 1 carry, and next thing you know, he's back there on kickoff team, just trying to help out however he can. So when you got seniors like that are willing to lay it on the line, sacrifice for each other, and, play as hard as they can, I think that's big.
We've got Kevin Creasy here this morning. The Patriots winners 49-46 against Riverdale last night in the quarterfinals, and headed to the semifinals next Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving. And, it's always nice to have a little turkey and then practice, I guess. That's a tradition.
Yeah, we usually practice, then have the turkey. So we're going to go early that morning, and it's going to be really, really cold. It always is. And the cool part is we have some former players that always show up because they're in town, to see their families. And so we'll have some players show up and check out practice and probably, give some words of wisdom to our team. And then they'll all get to be with their family. And, the tradition of Maryville coming in, I think, was it 10 out of the last 11 years Oakland has played Maryville in this fourth-round game? Since
2014, except the only exception was last year.
Yep. And last year, we had a heck of a game last year. So I think it should be the same. I really respect Maryville's program, and I think Coach Hunt's one of the best coaches in the whole state of Tennessee, all classes. And got a great staff with him, great community support. Won't have to worry about, not having a good atmosphere, because those folks from Maryville will load up and they will be sure to come support their team.
Again, Oakland has been in the semifinals since 2014 and now punched the ticket here in 2024. And during that span, 4 state titles and 2 runner-up trophies. And if it's been a semifinal game that hasn't gone Oakland's way, it's been against Maryville, of course. And the Rebels were not there last year, and a lot of people thought, well, that's the end of Maryville. But I mean, what they have been able to do and sustain that program to keep it where it is, it's a testament to the support in the community, just like you have at Oakland.
Yeah, I agree. I think consistency with the head coach is big. They've had the same head coach, I think, for the last 9 years, and he's a former player there. And, like I said, the big things, their fan base isn't spoiled. I saw some empty seats in our stands last night. That was unfortunate. Just mind-boggling to me. I don't know if it's our fan base is spoiled and they expect us to get to Thanksgiving, but we had to beat a heck of a Mount Juliet team to even play Riverdale, and then give Riverdale credit. Every time we scored on them, they scored on us, and kept fighting back, and so we beat a good Riverdale team last night. And, next thing you know, I'm looking up and there's a bunch of empty seats, so it was really disappointing to see that. Hopefully we'll get that fixed and we won't use Thanksgiving or the day after Black Friday as an excuse not to be there. Like I said, these seniors, they deserve your support, and biggest thing is there's only one Murfreesboro team left, so hopefully you come out and watch a good ball game. I know that we'll have our hands full and it's going to be tough to win, but at least come out and all these seniors that are putting their bodies on the line and working their tail off, they deserve their support, and hopefully we're not getting complacent as a fan base and just expecting this to happen. There's a lot of teams that would swap with us in a heartbeat if they got an opportunity to play on Thanksgiving and practice on Thanksgiving week.
Coach, I know you may not have had a terribly long time to look at Maryville. Obviously, you didn't look past Riverdale last night, but what do you know about their personnel? What are the challenges that they'll pose?
I don't know much about them. I know they got a really good quarterback that's young, and good quarterbacks have given us some problems last few weeks, and that's about all I know about them, except they're well coached, and they're going to make sure that they give us their best game, and we'll have plenty of time to swap film, watch film, all that stuff. But right now I'm just still kind of grading out our film from last night, and there's a lot of plays and a lot of things to look at. So we'll get off this show and we'll head over and start thinking about Maryville.
Well, you've got kind of a really different week this week now that Thanksgiving break is a full week. So, I mean, how do you handle practice? You've already kind of alluded to what you'll do on Thanksgiving Day, but what does the week look like for you?
Yeah, we'll bring them in about 1:30 on Monday, and then the rest of the week we'll practice in the mornings. Our guys love practicing in the mornings. I was surprised by that, but we'll bring them in the mornings. I have the rest of the day off, and to give us coaches time to work and all that stuff. So I got a pretty similar schedule to Monday, our normal Monday, but the rest of the week will be in the mornings.
Well, Coach, congrats on the win last night, and I would encourage Oakland fans to be there Friday night. Really, Rutherford County football fans. This is something that you never know if it's next year or the next 5 years that we may not see for a decade.
That's right. You never know.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you very much. That is Coach Kevin Creasy here on the Coaches Show, which is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
At Dr.